Good evening to all my followers on Transform with Radhika, as well as friends who have joined me today, are going to join me today for this live Insta. I'm just going to wait for a few people to come on. So I'm super excited about today, and you all would know why if you have been watching my previous IGTV videos. Just wanting to check whether everybody can hear me clearly, whoever is online. If I can get a thumbs up if you have a clear audio and a video, so I can go ahead. Okay, so as I said, I'm super excited about today's interview is because I've had this guest on my Insta live just about 2 weeks ago, Mr. William Lawrence, and he shared with us at that time about the lunar eclipse. I just want to check, can you all hear me clearly? Okay, I guess you can. Okay, so I'm really excited to have him. I keep saying that. That's because I found that his inputs, his insights for the lunar eclipse were really helpful. A lot of people messaged me and told me that it was really interesting for them. It was very helpful for them. And so I thought I will bring him on today. And he has been so kind as to join me here to share his insights about the solar eclipse. So as you all already know that we have a solar eclipse coming up on the 14th of December. And so what is a solar eclipse? Of course, it's an astronomical phenomena, but we do have the astrological repercussions, or it translates into astrology for us as it impacts us as an experience, whether it is at an individual level or it is at a global level. So with my love for astrology, I thought I will have him share with us everything that he knows, and he knows a lot, and I know that 1 hour is not enough for him to share the treasure of information that he has. So without much delay, I'm inviting Mr. William Lawrence. If you can send me a request, I will get you. Yes, there. Wait. Okay, I should have him here in a minute. Mr. Lawrence, good evening.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening.
So good to see you. And you already know I'm very excited about today because your talk, your video on the lunar eclipse was very, very helpful to me and to a lot of my viewers. People messaged me and told me it was very interesting. So we have a solar eclipse coming on, and I really want to thank you because you agreed to come on to this interview to share your amazing insights.
Thank you.
So 14th of December is the solar eclipse, am I correct?
Yes, ma'am. What IST,
Okay.
it is about at 7:03.
7:03, yes.
7:03 p.m. to 12:22 p.m. IST.
Okay. So what is the solar eclipse about? So let's jump right into it.
Yeah, I think it's the last eclipse of the year, and the first eclipse happening in Scorpio. See, the
First eclipse, sorry,
happening in Scorpio.
First eclipse happening in Scorpio after a long time, or first ever, or how does it?
First eclipse happening in Scorpio.
Wow.
It is like each sign there will be about 2 eclipses, and adjacent sign there will be other 2 eclipses, 4 eclipses and 2 adjacent signs. It will regress backwards.
Okay.
What is it? Sagittarius, we had about 4 eclipses in Sagittarius and Gemini. The next it is in Scorpio. So each sign goes reverse. Now, after Sagittarius being activated, especially in Moola, the negative energy has been released from Moola. Now, the compensation is going to happen in Jyeshta Nakshatra. The end of Jyeshta, it is going to happen.
When you say the word compensation, it kind of has a it has a bearing of some hope for us. Is that true in a
Yeah,
way?
if I can understand, if I take the what Mula was ruled by Niruti or Hades, the god of hell.
Hades, the god, yeah, the
Hades, the
goddess
god
of
of
hell.
hell.
Yeah,
You can see it.
yeah.
That was the energy released, involving about 5-6 planets with Saturn, Jupiter, all the major. When Saturn, Jupiter involves in an eclipse, it is a major impact on the world. This time there is no Saturn Jupiter involved. So the negative energy released by Mula and Aridra needs to be compensated in Jeshta. Jeshta is ruled by Indra.
Indra.
He is the king of the gods. So what I say, he has to compensate the whole energy,
Bring order.
bring order. No, in fact, the
Yeah.
meaning of Jeshta itself, that's the meaning. It is
Oh.
Arohana Shakti. It is a Jeshta person is a person who has all the strength to come out of any challenges and peril. They are the best when they are in danger. Or what is a Spider-Man saying? With great power comes great responsibilities. This is a Jeshta's motto or sloka.
So
So and
it's like, the more challenges it has. So what is interesting, what I'm hearing from you is about Mula and Adra Nakshatra, and when the eclipse happened there. And so the deities become very important here to understand the
yes,
archetypes and also how they behave. So if I can say that Mula and Adra, and I am really, as I said, not an expert in this, but my understanding is that they are disruptive before they can set a new order, isn't it? Because there has
yes,
to be a collapse before there is a new
yeah,
beginning all over again.
yes, yes,
So instead of looking at it as a negative, because a lot of people go into fear and negativity, but destruction is, that we all know that the destruction is inevitable for creation. Only if there's destruction can something new be created.
yes, yes.
So have we been moving through that in year 2019 to 20? Is that been the theme according to you?
Yeah, perfectly correct. Like I'll make it understand. Like it was eclipse happens in a particular sign and involving a particular nakshatra. So it is like a progression, reversal progression in each nakshatra and each rasi. It was in Mula. Now it is happening in Jeshta and it's happening in Scorpio, the 8th sign of the zodiac. So the whole energy of Scorpio is going to be activated, and as there will be 2-3 other eclipses here in each nakshatra. So this is going to be the first nakshatra, Jeshta. The energy of Jeshta is going to be strongly activated.
So
And
you
this is
said Scorpio. Now, Scorpio is a very mystical, when we talk about layman, often you say, oh, I'm born in the month of November. Oh my God, are you Scorpio? And of course, that is the Western, and there is this, oh my God, connotation to Scorpio. Is it something that is, I know it's mystical, but is it blown out of proportion? Is it as negative, or it is transformative? And most people are afraid of transformative energies. Is that what is Scorpio?
in fact, Scorpio is the weakest, most transformative sign is Scorpio. So any eclipse in Scorpio is going to have a major transformation in the whole world. What he says, Scorpio is about release, but ejection, coming out, being exposed. What is this? Scorpio is a patala. What is it? At depth. What is it? And
Right.
something which is
Underground.
underground, and something like 5 planets. Now the eclipse is involving Sun in 28 degrees, with Moon, with Ketu, with Mercury. Venus alone is quite far away. So I'll put it as 4 planets are strongly involved, a mild influence on Venus. 5 planets conjunction, and 4 planets conjunction in Jeshta itself. So if you understand Scorpio and Jeshta, you will know what will the eclipse is going to impact for individually and for the world at large.
Interesting. So when you said moon and sun, so and Ketu and Mercury, that's what you said,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Now, Jeshta itself, the Lord is Mercury. So does Mercury then become very important here? Would there be? I'm picking up your words. Revelation of secrets and
Yes.
Mercury. So is there something about media that's going to come out? I'm just curious.
Yes, media is going to go out of proportions. What
Okay.
is Jeshta by itself is it rules over very important government places like museums, zoos, telecom industry. Lot of medias will be there. Any major government places is ruled by Jeshta. So this can have a very prominent activation during Jeshta. And
So
Jeshta,
can,
yeah, tell me.
I wanted you to in fact tell me about Jeshta, which you, sorry, I interrupted.
See,
So a little bit about Jeshta.
the energy of Jeshta is Arohana Shakti. It is what is it coming out of peril. Any challenges, Jeshta faces, it has the power, confidence, and the energy to come out of any danger. I can say it is at its best when it's facing danger. Now you just see the previous year what happened, a dreadful eclipse released by, like you can say the release of the negative energies in Mula. Now you see have an eclipse coming in Jeshta with the energies to overcome obstacles, overcome problems. So it looks like this is like a patch up, like a very restorative force which is going to come, which is going to be very remedial and palliative. In this energy. So I strongly feel this is going to be a very restorative eclipse, which is very, see many people last time they missed reading the eclipse in Mola Ardra, which is very simple. So many people started giving doomsday predictions. And this eclipse is a very special thing. You have on 20th a conjunction of Saturn
Yes.
Jupiter.
Yeah.
And Saturn Jupiter conjunction Capricorn is happening after 1961, and
I believe
within
so, yeah.
and December 30 Pluto is joining the conjunction. This is a
Wow.
very rare feature. So there is some major happenings in the world, but I feel it is for a major transformation. But this eclipse, I'm very sure it's a very restorative, palliative, mitigative eclipse, because the
So
meaning of
so can we say it restores some aspects and it starts reconstructing other aspects of our life?
yes,
Because
definitely.
Pluto is also again considered to
Yes.
be something that breaks down things.
If I can take it like what an eclipse followed by a major conjunction within 15-20 days, yes, there is going to be a major transformation in the world. But I will not say it is very negative. Like Scorpio, you can say Scorpio is a sign of let go, move away, transcendental. You're going away of. You have to what does not serve a purpose. You just have to leave it. What you say, anything dangerous, bad, is gone off old. Everything it has to transcend. It has to move to the Sagittarius phase of spiritualism. But in between, you have the seat of the Kundalini is Scorpio.
Right. The rising of the Kundalini is
Kundalini,
Jyeshtha.
it
Yeah.
is there sitting over all the energies are going to, all the eclipse is going to activate the Kundalini energy over there. So this is going to be a very powerful, very, very powerful eclipse.
I definitely feel that the conversation you're just having, that there is a sort of a spiritual awakening or change in the world. When I say awakening, it doesn't mean people will start becoming, but there is a inner change, because after all, Mula is also the first nakshatra of Sagittarius and the first initiation into the spiritual, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, if we look back at the series of events, the one dot that that connects to the other, and when we look backwards, it seems like the world is on at that point where there is a spiritual change.
Yes, 100%, definitely.
Right. Okay.
In fact, it was like this. If I can put it that way, the spiritual change was initiated by Jupiter in a Jupiterian house. Now it is going to be initiated in a Martian house. And what is very important, when the eclipse is happening in Scorpio, Mars is sitting in Jupiter's house. Pisces, the end of the zodiac,
Pisces.
a moksha sign. Mars is sitting in the moksha sign, and eclipse is happening in the most occult, esoteric, secret, mystical sign. So imagine this is going to activate all occult, mystical forces are going to be activated during this eclipse.
I'm excited. because I want to know what this is, because a lot of things that were hidden and not known are probably going to come out, because in a
Yes,
way the
this is
eclipse
going to be
is
this eclipse. I'll put it as exposure. What is a many
exposure.
exposures, many revelations, many things coming out, truths. What is it, all lies which have been covered. So it's like many countries will be exposed. What is of whatever they're going through. So you can see this eclipse activating many things within a short while. You can see a lot of exposures. Maybe a lot of it is also a house of discovery also. So a lot of discoveries, maybe the medicine being discovered, a vaccine being discovered is also. I will not say this should be the main eclipse which can activate that.
Okay, so they could be like the things will start moving forward.
Also, you must know it is an ejection of poison also. So some
Correct.
new things can also be also, but there's no much negative planets there. I see a lot of positive planets over here. So taking that into account, I think this should have a lot of shade of positivity into the eclipse than negative shade. But simultaneously, what is the great conjunction happening between Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto? There is other means which clearly shows it's a major transformation happening in the world,
So
and it's
since it's
happening.
happening in Capricorn,
Yeah.
right, in the sign of Capricorn, which is an earthy sign, am I correct?
Yes, these
Yeah,
signs, the
and
10th
it's to do with the
natural
material world.
material world. And the Kala Purusha, 10th house. It's about karma of the world at large.
Mm.
So everybody's karma is to be balanced, set to order, to be reset. A major change. Planets
But
conjoining
that's not always comfortable, Mr. Lawrence, isn't it? Because a lot
yeah,
of people have to, they won't, sometimes you don't understand why we go through certain sufferings, whether emotionally or mentally or whatever. But, there is an ask for a balance, an ask for, um, somewhere something to be completed, right? Or
definitely,
endured, right?
definitely,
So
definitely.
in a
It's a very
way, we need to be aware of that, okay, this is something I have to endure, I have to balance, I have to uh, complete it.
correct, definitely.
Would you
Very
say that?
yeah, 100%. And Capricorn is a very, very what is it? Very important sign. In fact, Capricorn is the natural birth sign of India. So
Oh,
it needs,
okay.
though what I say, the new independence chart, it is Kataka, Pusha Nakshatra, Cancer
Right.
moon. But the old ancient, what is a birth sign of India is Makara. So India is also going through a very, very strong change phase in this eclipse.
So would you say there would be the ancient revival in a way, the old systems, because
Like,
Jupiter,
okay,
like Saturn is ancient in a way,
yes.
uh, yeah,
With,
and
with
Jupiter is Dharma
yes,
also.
yes. With
So there is an
Pluto transformation. The
okay.
transformative Pluto in that sign, very rare for all three of them to combine. Must be next time it will take place is more than 300 years. Happening over there is a
Okay.
very rare feature. No,
So this is the time to seize the opportunity then.
yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Many
Right.
people,
So the eclipse is happening in the Gandanta, right? The
yes,
Jeshta.
28,
So that is of,
almost Gandanda. So if it is in the
okay,
Gandanda, will be in Pisces Navamsa.
I see.
So it is like the deepest depth of Scorpio, the eclipse is taking place. So
Okay.
it is going to dig in something really. It's a lot of. It can be like a lot of toxicness, lot of negativity. Lot it can be released. Can be
A
there,
lot of
but
emotional stuff, isn't it? Because Pisces is emotional and
yes,
Scorpio is also a water sign, right?
yes, yes, yes.
And so the Scorpio is like the deepest unconscious emotional stuff, and the Pisces is like the ocean of
Correct.
emotions. So
Mhm.
it's like a stirring of emotions in a way, or
Yes,
emotional responses. I know that lunar had more to do with our inner world,
emotions.
and you mentioned that
Solar
sun has to
eclipse
do with the outer world.
ego. It's more of the ego, the image. The solar eclipse is mostly about the image we have, the outer image, outer shell, what we have in the outside world. That will be shaken.
I see.
People will go a major transformation in the image they have about what they have. Each rasi will have a different meaning to what this eclipse means to them.
And so somebody's asked, how do we benefit from it from the occult science? And when you're saying this, the ego has to have a sort of a breakdown for us to access the true spirit that we are, because we have this, our own image of ourselves is what comes in the way of accessing our true nature, right? Because it acts like a screen or a,
Yes.
right? So
Like
I would say that it would help occult science. Somebody's asking that question, benefit from it.
okay, I would say occult science, the energy of this eclipse is going to be Durga, Kali, a bit of Ganapati, and Indra. Indra is the Jeshta energy. When these kind of planets in mass energy, praying to Durga and Kali during this eclipse is very, very important. Not only to occult, also to be protective from this eclipse, also to balance this energy is released. It will be mainly to pray to Durga.
So,
I'll ask, yeah.
so what is it that we can do, like in terms of
You can chant
Durga?
Durga Gayatri, you can say maybe what is it to be as a cleansing purification process after the eclipse, maybe next day, you go to a Durga temple. Can be there as a protective measure. Just before the eclipse, they can chant Durga mantras. Can be there. People can be meditating on this fourth. It's happening on Monday. It's a Kartika Monday especially. Shiva also become very important. Meditating on Shiva is also very, very important. The force is it's a Scorpio force. So the divinity can't be a soft divinity. It has to be a forceful, rajasic, a secretive force of deity must be there. So I'll put it safely. There are many deities, but Durga will be the best one. You can pray to Durga. It's very, very good. And what is it? People in power will have a problem in this eclipse because Indra is the king of the gods. So people in lead, country leaders, bosses, anybody holding a very good position will be threatened, will be going under a lot of challenges. It will not be a problem. They'll face some strong challenges which they need to overcome. Like the actual strength of Jeshta is the more they are challenged, they are at their best. They come out successfully, however challenged they are. It is like the metal is tested.
Interesting. I'm thinking of two people, two leaders that comes to my mind, and I will not take their name. Both have strong Jeshtas in their charts, right?
Yes,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
In fact,
So,
our Prime Minister is not Jeshta, but the eclipse is happening for him. And for India, if I have to tell you, it's happening on India's, it's a nodal return for India. And you'll be having continuously eclipses on India's ascendant, on moon side, non-stop. This full year, it will be there. And together with it, we have the prime ministers who is Scorpio moon he's been having, and as eclipse on it. I think this is going to be a major transformation for India. Can be a lot of challenges for India, major happenings with a nodal return and with an eclipse non-stop going to happen for every 3 months. If an eclipse is going to happen, there are going to be major changes in the Indian sea.
So we can expect continuous changes and challenges and overcoming of challenges and
100%.
sort of resetting, and which will influence, and especially because the conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter also happening, that you will see long-term effects of the eclipse and the conjunction together, right?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. India will face some tough challenges ahead. But it is involving a lot of good planets also. So I will not say it's negative. I think it in the long run, it's definitely going to be for the good. But it'll be tough next few months. I will not say this eclipse is going to be bad as the last eclipse. But everybody is some many astrologers are giving prediction is going to be very devastated. I don't think so. It is like that because there is no Saturn, Jupiter, Mars involved in the eclipse. There will be tough measures. New things will happen. That's all. Many changes will happen this year. 2021, there'll be many changes, but it will not be as negative as what we saw this whole year. It's not going to be. A lot of new, I will put it as restorative mitigating forces. Those kind of measures will be happening. But Scorpio by itself, if you think you will have to adopt new ways. It is like the butterfly, let going of the cocoon and a butterfly being formed. That's the process of Scorpio. Or you can call it how the snake unskins itself.
I wanted to
What's
ask you this
the
question. You're actually kind of going there, but my question to you is, and forgive me if it sounds a little silly, but I was just wondering, it's just something that occurred while I'm listening to you, is that the constellation of Scorpio has three nakshatras in it, correct?
yes, yes.
So it has, I know it has Ashlesha,
Vishaka,
no,
Vishaka,
Vishakha, sorry, it's Vishakha,
Anuradha, Jeshta.
Anuradha, and Jeshta, correct?
Hmm.
So all of these energies will be experienced by us in a way?
No, no, no. It's only on
No?
Jeshta. It's
It's
on
only on Jeshta,
Jeshta
okay.
and the trinal stars. Also
Okay.
Revati and Aslesha, the trinal stars. Like I'll put it, it is happening at 28 degrees. So
Mm-hmm.
anybody having a planet 5 degrees either side of Scorpio or Pisces or Cancer, 5 degrees away from that particular point will have its
Mm-hmm.
effect
So that
strongly.
is Revati is in Pisces and Ashlesha is in Cancer.
28 degrees of what is it, Pisces, 28 degrees of Cancer. Anybody
Uh-huh.
having planets and that particular 5 degrees either side of it can feel the eclipse very strongly.
Mm-hmm.
These are as trinal stars to Jeshta. So all of them will definitely feel a very strong impact on this eclipse. It's all watery signs involved.
Right, right. Yeah, that seems to be the theme, right? The
Uh,
watery signs.
Purificatory.
Yeah, absolutely. And so much of the earth is water, so much of our bodies is water, and water has a flow, it has stagnation, it can be, it's what quenches our thirst, but it can also be overwhelming. Sometimes it drowns us as well. So it'll be interesting how each one of us will be handling our emotional states. Could you say is that's
It is
how?
also this eclipse is also about emotion because it's happening. What is say in a watery sign. So it's
Hmm.
definitely what I say. Everybody's emotion is going to have a major transformation. This eclipse is going to definitely activate it in mainly. But it is like I
Hmm.
think people are going to come out very strong after this
Hmm.
eclipse. People are going to have the courage and confidence to face anything.
Hmm.
They're going to become very strong. This is what happens when an eclipse energizing, bring out the force of Jeshta out. Jeshta
Hmm.
means eminence, the ruler, one who is at the helm of affairs. So
Right.
the what I say, the Indra energy has been released. So people are what I say are going to get enormous energy to face whatever is going to happen.
Jyeshta
This
is
is the
also competitive. So would you say that the people will also get more competitive?
yes, yes, extremely very strong nakshatra.
Hmm.
Uh, very misunderstood nakshatra.
Right.
It is considered as a bad Muhurta nakshatra, but yet, what I say, it is ruled by Indra, king of the gods.
Yes, I've never actually understood that because they say it's a Gandha Mula Nakshatra, right? That's the word for it.
Yes, it's no, the last part of Jeshta will become the Gandanda Mula. But because I've seen
Right.
people will tend to, Jeshta nakshatra people tend to worry a lot.
Yes.
They think a lot too much. Because they think
Hmm.
a lot, I can see Jeshta people will be the person who worries a lot also. So this
Hmm.
eclipse in Jeshta can also create an unnecessary fear being spread out also. Unnecessary fear,
So
but
what does one do about that?
no, there is no basis in it. I will not say it is. It's just because Mercury is a nakshatra, so
Hmm.
overthinking will start. This can also because it is Mercury. The media can hype unnecessary things.
So we have to be, as usual, aware of the
Yes,
fear factors perpetrated on us through
yes,
media.
yes. Media. This is very very important.
Right.
Hmm. This is very
Right.
important. This eclipse.
So my question again is, we had spoken about this during the lunar eclipse that the countries it impacts. I know, is it very visible in India? Is it something that
No, it is
impacts
not
us?
visible in India. It is mostly south of South America, a bit of south of South Africa, and
Hmm.
it is visible. Most of the very few actually, it is visibility is very little in the world.
Hmm.
It's just
Hmm.
South America. That also the bottom
So
part of South
true.
America.
So true
Uh,
for a Scorpio. The visibility is so
yes,
little, right?
very little.
Yeah.
Yes, so
Yeah.
it is not
So it's all
visible.
hidden.
It is not visible in most part of the world. So,
Hmm.
yet the impact will be there. Where it is visible, it is going to be very, very strong. Other parts, yes, it is a cosmic event. Definitely, it will have an impact. It may not have a
Right.
direct, deep impact, but there will be definitely an impact. In fact, the last
Hmm.
eclipse was not visible all the world, but the impact was felt everywhere. So this is going to be a very important eclipse. And eclipse in Scorpio is always very, very important.
So I've been watching videos of different people, the different perspectives that they share. And as you said, there's a lot of fear, even by astrologers, that is perpetrated, that be careful. And, this is very dangerous time. And people get very fearful either of the subject, because you have information that this is really a scary time and there's so many unknown variables, but you don't know what to do with that, right? So at a practical level, as we have already spoken about, we have to watch. One is fear-based information that has been given to us, so it's important for us to filter it through. Secondly is emotional handling of your own emotions, right? Releasing emotions that have not really worked. So a lot of people may have, if can understand correctly, a surfacing of old emotional data that can be coming even from past life, because it's a natural eighth house, right?
This eclipse is the best to overcome all these things, because this eclipse is helping you to release all your negative emotions, or not only of this birth, of all the births. In fact, even I will say, add to this, if this is it's happening on Amavasa. So you want to do Pitru Dosha remedy, this is the best time to do it. So
can you tell us a Pitru Dosha remedy for our viewers, whoever would like to do that as well?
Tila Homa is the best. Anybody can do Tila Homa during this time between 7 p.m. to 12 p.m. This is the best to do.
What is that? I'm sorry, even I don't know what that is, really.
It is a particular Homa using sesame seeds, a particular mantra from Garuda Purana, which appeases all your Pitrus. There are different versions. Pushpanda is there. The other Vaishnavat is there, but this is the standard one which is used
from the Garuda Purana.
Appeasing. This is the mostly everybody uses Tilahoma, all of India. There are different other versions also, but this is the best. Or you can do a lot of dhan also. It is very powerful during this, doing dhan during this period. Most of the dhan, whatever you do during this, goes to the Pitrus only.
So what kind of dhan can we do, and where?
Anything. You can start from whatever is possible for you. Suppose the Shastras say gold, silver, dress, articles, metal articles, food, everything has been given. But this, anything done during this eclipse, only it is very good for Pitru Shanti. Very, very good for Pitru Shanti.
So you can give to underprivileged people, you can feed them food that time,
yes,
particularly during the eclipse, or is it before or after?
During the eclipse to give it, it's very, very special. You can chant mild mantras. As a sadhana, people can chant mild mantras, soft mantras, not get activated too much. Some safe mantra, God's name, they can chant it. Somebody asked how you can use the eclipse, no? Can chant any God's name. I will not suggest any strong bija mantras or mula mantras.
I was going to say that because I heard somebody mentioned Kunjika Stotram, and I think that's a bij mantra, and very powerful. I heard it's beautiful, but
if a person knows all about mantra shastra, how to protect himself during eclipse, and if because it is happening in a sign of a kundalini. Any eclipse mantra I will activate the kundalini very, very strongly. In Scorpio,
and then you don't know how to handle it.
You don't know how to handle. So if you know something about mudras and how to do Ashtapantra, and then tell the mantra, no problem. If you're a newcomer, you're not new to mantras, I will always suggest some safe mantras. And Nama, any God's name you can take with Om and Namaha prefixed and suffix. That will be the safest.
So Om Namah Shivaya or Durga mantra.
Om Namah Shivaya is the best. Durga mantra is also very powerful during the eclipse. You can see before and after, not during the eclipse. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Ram, you can say Jai Ram, you can say all those mantras. Any other Namavali which they prefer is very safe. Just meditating.
So I just heard you say that Durga mantra not during the eclipse, after the eclipse?
Very, very powerful. Durga mantra is extremely very powerful. But actually this eclipse will, anybody who has mental blocks, what do you say, repressed emotions. This is the best time to remove all negative repressed emotions, psychological problems. People are having, what do you say, schizophrenia, all this meditating during this time or chanting mantra during this time will help you remove, what do you say, ages of or even births of negative energy from you. Just sit down and
Nice.
calm down, and what I say, I just feel the what I say negative energy, because this eclipse is about ejection. What I say, it throws out. See, by
Mm-hmm.
nature,
Mm-hmm.
what I say, an amavasya is about throwing out. Imagine an eclipse with an amavasya. It's just like it throw out all negative energy out of you.
And in the natural eighth house,
Yeah,
so
that is
which is
the thing.
also about
Scorpio.
elimination and letting it
That's what
go.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
It is an eclipse in Scorpio. It's about all, you can throw out all negative energy which
Hmm.
you have taken in your mind, the vasanas you have taken, everything you want to throw it out. This is the eclipse. This is the best eclipse. This will take
Somebody's
another.
asking, how do I remove mental blocks and negative energies? Like, do you set an intention or do you just let it
No,
happen
no.
in its own volition?
What I say, it is like, see, there's other aspect of it. The eclipse can also aggravate all these things also. So
Mhm.
actually, what is the advice is, sit down, chant the mantra. Don't, what is it, activate it by getting emotional during this. Why people say
Hmm.
don't do anything during this eclipse is, whatever you do during an eclipse will have a thousandfold effect. So let's say you have an
Right.
argument. Let's say you have a fight, or you involved in something, not just mantra. Anything you do will have a very strong negative effect, a thousandfolds. So you just, let's say,
Hmm.
have in your mind, like in strong intention, all my negative energy. I'm releasing all my negative energy. You
Hmm.
forgive people, forgive all people who have done anything against you. Drop any, what is it, every other hate, guilt, anything you have, you just give it away. I'll put it as, if you want a, okay, meditation technique, imagine, visualize all the negative energy which you have in you, let it collect like a big heap, then I think you
Hmm.
can throw it away into some other planet. Just
Right.
imagine it's being flushed out, all the negative energy is moving away. Just have a visualization technique that way, and you're
Absolutely.
filled. This is the best time, because it will naturally happen. You need to,
Right.
what is help it to happen. Feel
So
fresh.
the mind understands visual, or it can grasp visual.
Yes, it
So
can happen
so
a visual way.
the other thing is feeling. Like one of my mentors, in fact I had put his interview, Mr. Partha Gupta had shared this with us. Say if I say the word thank you, I close my eyes and I say thank you, and I could be for anything. Feel the emotion. There is something that awakens. There is a certain chemistry that happens in your body, or say something like beautiful, like as if you see, beautiful scenery, or you're looking at the great mountains in front of you and you go like, wow, like that. So that feeling of expansion within your system. So either it's done through visuals, as you're suggesting, and even cultivating the feelings inside you, so your body can start releasing the chemistry of
Correct.
happy emotions, happy
Yes,
feelings,
yes, yes.
right? Yeah.
Very good
So I
idea.
think
Definitely can do it. Emotionally, no, you can do it. But during Amavasya, you will find it very difficult to think positively. So it is like,
yes, of course. Yes, that's a disclaimer. Yeah.
you can think very easily negatively. So usually they'll say people, robbers will use the Amavasya. People will get mentally hyped during this, because it supports easily getting negative during an Amavasya, and especially
Right.
in a Scorpio. And Amavasya happening in Scorpio with an eclipse, I will tell you, this is the best period anybody wants to release their negative energies, not just energies, negative emotions, negative baggages. What I say, this is the best time. What I say, you can, or I will even ask them to go have a saltwater bath. What I say, a physical energy.
So I looked at it from the practical perspective, because I know Lunar, you said that have a bath and you can go to the temple or whatever, you pray in whichever way you do. But this is getting over at 12:20. How many of us are going to actually be awake? Most of us will be sleeping through part
Yes,
of
yes.
the eclipse.
No, if you know about Reiki or pranic healing, if you know, during the eclipse, you can clean your chakras. The chakras
Okay.
can be cleansed. Your outer chakra can be cleansed. You can use chokure for the chakras. You can cleanse the chakras. People who know this art can definitely use it. Or if you do not know any healing, just visualize a black, dirty energy in each of the chakras being left. You're getting, just if you keep visualizing, you're being purified, cleansed. It's a word because happening in a watery sign. It's a very easy to cleanse, and especially this very strong depth of energy. So you easily can access to the deepest level of your mind. The Scorpio poison, no? You can take away all the poison out. So you really want to be transform yourself to Amrita. Last time we
Right.
spoke about Amrita being released in Taurus. Now
Right.
this is the Alahala. This is what is
Correct.
for you to wash away the Alahala.
Hmm.
This has to be like what the Alahala was released in Scorpio, and Lakshmi came out in Rishabha. The moon and Lakshmi came out in Rishabha. So the moon and Lakshmi, this is happening in reverse now. Lakshmi, usually the Alahala happens, then Lakshmi comes. Yeah, Lakshmi's come out first, then Alahala's coming.
So we have to be deserving of the nectar. That means
Yes.
how much you let go of the poison within us is how much nectar you will receive that is already collected,
When the Alahala came, what happened? Shiva took it off. So what you have to do? Surrender our negativity to the higher force. If
Correct.
we're not able to take it away, or you pray and tell us, okay, absorb all my negative. This should be the best prayer during an eclipse. Please absorb all my negativities in my mind,
So
body.
I release unto you, like I just
Yes,
give it
yes.
unto you,
Give it unto you.
that,
Give
yeah.
away
And
all the hala in your body, because this eclipse is definitely about a release. You want to purify yourself of all poison, mental poison, physical poison, anything. This is the eclipse for you to cleanse yourself. It will take another 12 years again to happen here. This is the best, and especially with Shukra over there and Mercury over there happening in this place,
so it's
and Mars
very
is.
interesting to see Venus also there, Shukra there, because Shukra has also got to do with emotional stuff in a way,
Yes,
because
yes,
it's
yes,
related to
yeah, yes,
emotions
yes, yes,
or
yeah.
relationships in our
Correct.
lives.
But lucky
So
it is
will
not very close.
okay, thank
It is
God.
more, I'll put it as Mercury is being afflicted here. Sun, Moon, and Mercury is afflicted. Venus is there as a mild, in fact, or I would have told you strongly about a lot about women and relationship getting. So it has a mild affliction, about 20 degrees, 22 degrees away, Shukra is away from the eclipse. So Shukra is not going to get.
So joining the what you just said, that Mercury will get is afflicted, so that's intellect in a way. So can I also say that people will be more emotionally driven than intellectually driven? Like sometimes we don't think, like even mass movements, like what happened. There is a certain mass frenzy. People actually don't know, like if you have movements and congregations of people, many of them don't even know why they're there, but they're in this mass frenzy. They're emotionally driven by things, and there is no intellect, there is no personal, filtration system as to, is this right? Is this wrong? Is this something that matters to me? You know what I'm saying? The intellect, the discernment. So there is a lack of discernment and highly emotional driven. Can I say that, or is that
No, no,
not an
like
accurate way to
because
say?
I'll put it as, because Mercury is involved, the logic and the analytical power is going to be hyped.
Is
It's going to be.
hyped. Okay,
It's
so
going
it's
to be.
the opposite, right? Okay.
It's what is. It's going to be blocked actually.
Hmm.
Because it's getting eclipsed. It's part of it. Mercury is also getting affected by the eclipse. So you have to be the rational, analytical, logical thinking of the people can be affected because of this eclipse.
That's what I was asking you. So it can be affected. Like you can't think, you
Correctly.
can't discriminate properly.
Correct.
Like
Yes, the
yeah. So
discrimination is going to be very strongly. A discernment is going to be disturbed. It's definitely, this is going, will the whole world will feel it in the next 2-3 months. This is going to be there.
and then you have media doing the propaganda, which
Yes,
is
yeah, because
emotionally trying to. So this is really important, because what happens is, what one is paying attention to, and it's probably something that happened for years, but we didn't pay attention to it. It's just that it's closer to us now, and we are actually affected because we all are on social media. We all have access to information, that people are getting into mass movements and hysteria, whether they're doing it from the living room on social media or they're doing it on the streets, but there is no discernment, there is no intellectual understanding, okay, I'm not saying don't do it, it's just that you should have a clear idea. Your intellect must be in place. Otherwise, you're a mad person, right? Or you're emotionally driven because you are getting into fear, you're getting into propaganda, which is also Mercury related, right? The media. And you're getting emotionally driven into mass hysteria. And why I'm saying this is because even Jupiter and Saturn as a conjunction does bring out these fights for what our belief systems, right?
Correct. Definitely it'll be there. So this is very important about what I say, how we think. What I say, we need to get a clarity. What I say, how are you thinking? Because Mercury, what I say, other planets, it is like Sun, Moon, and Mercury is getting eclipsed by Ketu actually. And
Okay.
Ketu is exalted over there. An exalted Ketu is eclipsing these three planets. Lucky Venus is a little away, giving a restorative force to this eclipse. So I think people's discernment is the most important, which can be affected. The way they think and perceive is going to be affected. Actually, it's going. I will not say it's going to be affected. I'll put it as like it's going to go for a major transformation. They need to let go of the old patterns. What is and think fresh. What is the whole eclipse is about? Actually, an eclipse in Scorpio is about letting go of old patterns, old style, old beliefs, everything which does not serve a purpose. You're still holding on too much to it. It has to be gone. It has to be left. Especially an eclipse in Scorpio within Pisces Navamsa means it is moksha. You have to leave it up. You want freedom, you have to let it go. Or
Liberation from that problem.
yes, what I say, and this is the best period if anybody wants to let go of anything which is not working for them. This energy will help them. Start with what I say, emotions. There are many other things which holds on to us. It is not, it's not leaving us. No, or we are holding on to it very, very strongly. This eclipse will help anybody to detach, cut off from many things which is not serving them a purpose. It'll help them
And
to get.
so, if you have a Scorpio ascendant, it will be with your personality, who you are as a person who will go
Yes.
through transformation.
Yes, Scorpio moon will be having the strongest impact.
Okay,
Like
tell
if
me
I have to
more.
summarize, I'll have to summarize for all the rasis. I either take it as an ascendant or the moon. If it
Okay.
is an Aries, it is happening in the 8th house. So what is it? The major transformation will be for an Aries. It's the fifth Lord Sun which is causing the eclipse. So the awareness, thinking, learning, the whole perspective is going to have a major change. It can be on the health also. Taurus moon sign or ascendant sign can have in the relationship and how they view the world can go through a major change. Uh, for Gemini, it will be about service, a bit of health will be there, professional changes will be there. For Cancer, it will be good. Very, very positive for
Okay. Yeah.
Cancer. It very, very good. They can learn. It's something about progeny will be there, and a lot of bright things will happen in their life. In Leo, there's going to be change of place, something about mother, home. These will be the major issues happening in their life. Virgo moon will have a lot of travels, communication, neighbors, sibling related. A lot of changes will happen. For a Libra, it is going to be about finance, family, their food habits, food style, and their expression and what they say it is going to have. And then coming to Scorpio, I think you're a Scorpio, no? You have a
Yes.
Scorpio. Okay,
That's I'm
Scorpio,
so interested. Yeah.
very, very important because Scorpio, it's happening on you, a very important plan. So it's going to be about your image, about what you are. What do you say? In fact, I think you started with this. I think your interview with an eclipse, no? So this, I think, it's going to give you a new image of what you are. It's going to strengthen that aspect. You have to let go an old pattern and adopt a new one. For a Scorpio, it is just about total. It'll be positive because the Lord of Scorpio is in the fifth house. Just the Jeshta Nakshatra people alone, what I say, could be quite heavy for them. Have some remedial measures done.
Okay.
But mostly, I don't think Scorpio is going. because Sun and Moon are 9th and 10th lords, with Scorpio Lord at the 5th house. It's a positive eclipse for the Scorpio.
Okay.
We're coming to Sagittarius. It's happening in the 12th house. So it's about a lot of letting go, a lot of spiritualism. They can go, even a lot of pilgrimages will happen for them. Money related, they should be very careful.
Okay.
For
Scorpio moon and Scorpio ascendant.
Ascendant.
I mean, sorry, Sagittarius moon and Sagittarius ascendant.
In Capricorn, it is in the 11th house, Badhakasthana. So the society at large, where they are, could have an impact. A lot about finances, siblings, will have a major change in their life. Aquarius, it's going to be about profession, career. It will be positive. A lot of achievements, accomplishments will be there. Very good for an Aquarius ascendant. Pisces, it's going to be very, very spiritual. May the transformation regarding spiritualism, even material, they'll be very successful. A lot of changes in the material, they'll be very fortunate and very lucky for a Pisces. This is what's summing up for the 12 rasis.
So whether this is moon in these rashis or even your ascendant, this is something we have to
it is like
with.
From the moon sign, it will be like that's going to be good or bad. From the ascendant, it shows what is the house involved. So you can generally take it from the moon sign more. We have to club up both and find out what is the result. So generally take it as a moon sign. Ascendant, where is the eclipse falling? And it is just not this ascendant moon. You must find out what are the planets in Scorpio. Let's say you're having Shukra in Jeshta. An eclipse falling there will affect your relationship. So it depends.
Yes.
I do not know. So each person who's having a particular planet at 28 degrees of Scorpio will have that particular Karakatum or signification strongly felt. I've just told you for a general ascendant moon.
Correct. So, and I think it's a good time to, if my viewers want to consult you, they can do that, because the way I see it is that, this information, if I get my chart, like if I tell you, okay, this is how it is, you give me information, I will know what is required of me, as in, okay, this is my opportunity for growth, this is where I will struggle, so how do I overcome it? Because astrology is aimed at helping you evolve and grow, right?
Yes.
Not to point out or tell you that, oh, you're going to suffer and there's nothing to be done. It's an opportunity. So for different rashis, for some of them, it's an opportunity. It's a period of growth, and for others, it's a period of evolution, right? Of evolving out of old patterns, which may seem uncomfortable at some level, but either ways, it's insightful and it's informative, and it helps you to be. It's like that whole analogy that I keep talking about, that if you are in a village, you won't take your Ferrari on a kacha road, on a broken road at 100. You will use a belgadi, you will use a bullock cart, because that's what is required of you in that moment. But you're on a highway, you probably won't like to sit on a bullock cart. It makes no sense. Then you can take out your Ferrari and drive faster. So to know where we are and how we should interface with life, what is being asked of us, I think that's the essence of astrology.
Correct. Definitely.
Right? So yes. So thank you so much for taking us through the different rashis. I'm going to give my viewers, if anybody has any questions, or if you want to share any last bit information with us, remedies, just to get because last time the remedies were very helpful to people. You are saying, as usual, give something in charity during that period of time.
Yes.
Feed people or give whatever you can.
Okay, I forgot to mention.
Yes.
Yeah, one more I forgot to mention. Sarpa Shanti during this eclipse is very, very important. Not just Pitru dosha. People who have Sarpa dosha in their horoscope, this eclipse period will be the best. They can do an abhishekam during this eclipse. Temples will be still open. They can do there, or you can people who have Rahu in 7th, 8th house, bad houses, can donate a silver or gold snake form to a temple, or you can give it to a Brahmin. This is the best period. Or
you had mentioned that in the lunar eclipse as well.
both
Yeah.
Luna and Solar, that has to do with Rahu. This has to do with Ketu. So as people who
So
have
can one
negative
repeat it
Ketu,
again? Do I repeat? One can repeat it again if you've done it in the lunar or it is already done.
no, it can do it. That is more for Rahu. This is more for
Okay.
Ketu. What I say,
Okay.
you're more of your identity. This is more of identity. That is more of your obsession. This is what
Mm-hmm.
I say. Ketu is eclipse is about your what I say your loss of identity. You don't know what you are, where you stand. What I say, that's the confusion which Ketu creates. So you
Mm-hmm.
want to appease Ketu. This is the best. So naturally, that's what I mentioned. Praying to Ganapati is very very important during this phase, and because it's Scorpio involved there, praying particularly to Durga. You can also take, because Mercury is involved, you can take Sudarshan. Sudarshan, the Vishnu energy, which can
Mm.
also be involved. But two doshas which can be strongly removed during this phase. People who are having Pitru dosha or Sarpa dosha, this eclipse will be the best, especially in Scorpio. Ketu is exalted and Rahu is also exalted. Cannot be a better time to do. People who can conduct a Sarpa Shanti also during this particular eclipse is very very important. Or chant Rahu mantras during this particular period. It's
Rahu
very very
mantras.
mild Rahu mantras,
Okay.
slokas. It
Shlokas.
is slokas. You can chant during this period. Will be very very appeasing to Rahu Ketu.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
very very important
You
to
had
do.
also shared on Facebook one of the videos. I think it's a song in Tamil. It's an old one you said about Ketu, the appeasement of Ketu.
Okay, yes, that's where, yeah, you can do it. Very very powerful.
I do not understand a word of Tamil, but I have been listening to it because it is so beautiful. You know, I don't know what it is about it, but I like to listen to it every day. Maybe because I'm also going through Antardasha Ketu. I don't know, but I just love it. So yes, I can definitely say that I think it generates, it changes something inside you, and we don't have to think too much logically into it. We just have to surrender to the interplay of these beautiful energies becoming more harmonious within us, isn't it?
Definitely, yes.
These planets are aspects of us, isn't it? They are
Yes.
within us as well as they are outside.
This is a
So,
very spiritual, the eclipse is involving Ketu, and Ketu is in his exaltation sign. With Sun, Moon, and Ketu, Mercury involved. This I can see this can be the, what you say, bringing about a lot of spiritual forces active. A lot of, I will not say, it can be very tantric spiritual forces active. There is something else happening in a different plane also because of the eclipse. Certain forces will get active, but people get quite spiritual during this eclipse, and I think Ganapati worship will become very very strong after this. It's
I
very
want to
important.
say something when you're saying all this tantric worship, and you definitely stressed before this with the viewers that to do light mantras and not do beach mantras and things like that.
Yes.
Very, strong.
Mhm.
And this is really important because, and I want to stress on this more, simply because there's so much available on YouTube. Even when you said chakra cleansing,
Yes.
that is ascension of kundalini, and people jump in for things like this, and they are not either initiated or they do not have any mentor or a guru to guide them through the changes. And because you cannot understand,
Correct.
the energy follows the greatest thought, is what my guru says. And if you're fearful, it will expand fear, and if it is so, it's very very important that we don't get too ambitious and experimental and go into the tantric side without proper guidance.
Definitely.
And the reason I'm saying this is because everything is available on the internet and people have access to it, and just because they do, they jump into it thinking that they can handle it. So yeah, that really is a disclaimer, because Mr. Lawrence is also telling you, please don't do things like that
This
unless you
eclipse
have.
will, what I say, invoke all these kind of interest. People start getting a lot of interest in all these tantric things. I was actually trying to warn these people. After the eclipse, suddenly a big interest in all these Kundalini stuffs and all these tantric stuffs. People will start getting interested. But what I say,
Mhm.
extremely very dangerous. Extremely very dangerous. It is only any devotional, safe mantras as alone you do it, unless you learn it from a competent guru who knows what he's doing. you're learning it by yourself, you could just take the name of God or any simple Om Namah Shivaya. Those kind of mantras is enough. Any Ashtotra or any simple Sloka Stotra is enough. Mostly, I think it is in vogue. No, everybody tells in their family. Don't take any complicated mantras. The simple Gayatri mantra, those kind of things is enough. Don't say anything. During the eclipse, if anybody wants to say any mantra, chant Ganapati mantra.
Okay.
That will be the
During
safest.
the eclipse, Ganpati mantra is the safest.
Because this eclipse needs a lot of grounding. What is people need to get grounded a lot. So the best deity to ground yourself is Ganapati. So chanting simple Om Ganapati Namaha during this eclipse will be the best to protect and also to feel very grounded.
Right. That was amazing information. I can talk to you for hours, as I always say. And you also have a webinar coming up. I just wanted my viewers to know about it. I have signed up for it. You're doing a webinar for those who are interested in astrology, and you're doing the. Please quickly tell us about it. So that
birth rectification. Yeah, I'm doing a webinar. It is not just what I say. If you want to know what is your correct birth time, only if you know a correct birth time, you can know everything about the depth of your horoscope. So it is. I'm doing a detailed what I say, a webinar on this. Like what is the correct birth time? What are the techniques involved to find out which is the correct time you are born? So everything which is in the Shastras, we are having an interesting session on it. So this is going to be explained with, so people will be knowing about how to use Vargas. All the 16 Vargas, how to use them, and see if the 16 Vargas are in synchronicity with your birth time. So a little bit on KP and a little bit of on many other aspects we'll be touching. So it will just not be birth rectification. It's just like on a whole ride over the basics of astrology.
Lovely. I'm looking forward to it. So, yeah. So thank you so much, Mr. Lawrence. Thank you very much. And I hope to have you more often on different subjects if this is something that's enjoyable for you as it is for my viewers. I always like interacting with you, whether it is your Facebook posts or even conversations. So I'd like to thank you so much for joining me and all my viewers as well. And I will put this on Facebook and Instagram, and you can watch it because a lot of people can't watch live videos. I get that. So they can watch it later. And I will put it on YouTube too. So thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.